The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and in that studio, we have Joe Tobia. Welcome back.
Thanks, Frank.
It's always good to see you.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
I'm so glad that you could be on the program because I know people have been watching the coverage of this, and you've luckily got a lot of coverage over to kind of spread the word. Tell us about, we'll get wonky here for a minute, Bill S3610 and A8434, the creation of the Rural Suicide Prevention Council. How long have you been in this fight for this to go through?
3 years, a little more than 3 years. Back in summer 2023, I was campaigning for state legislature.
Right.
And I just happened to come across a bill from Maryland. And I remember it was Maryland's Suicide Fatality Review Committee. Mm-hmm. It had already been signed by Governor Hogan, and I saw it, and I remember it was PL 94. And as I read the bill, I thought, holy cow, this is a good way to investigate suicide, fatalities. Right. I really liked it. Of course, it hit home. It was 2 years after I had lost my son to suicide. Right. So it really hit home for me that I thought this is something that's definitely good. Mm-hmm. So I started kind of investigating New York State, and I came up with this creation of a Rural Suicide Prevention Council. Mm-hmm. And it had first been proposed in 2021. Okay. Made it through the Senate, died in the Assembly. The next year, I think it died in the Mental Health Committee. I mean, and I wondered, as I read the bill, low cost. Mm-hmm.
Bipartisan support.
Bipartisan. It isn't a Republican or Democratic bill. It's bipartisan. Why isn't this bill moving? Right. And that was the first time, of course, I wasn't in the legislature yet. So, of course, you go to your elected officials. Mm-hmm. I went to Assemblyman Palmisano. Yeah. And I can still remember walking into his office, and I had known Phil because he was very much involved with our sister cities. He was always here to welcome the Italians. Yeah, of course. I always remember that. He loves it. And as I walked in, and I told him, I said, hey, what can you tell me? And I still remember him saying, Joe, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. But that began the investigation, and he became my eyes and ears and legs in Albany. At the same time, Frank, I started my letter writing. Yeah. I was writing to all these sponsors and anybody associated with the bill saying, what's wrong with this bill? Yeah. And it's funny, the first year, I didn't hear too much. You get the automated responses. Well, thank you. We really consider, But I didn't hear anything, so I just kept at it. And then I started phone calls and faxes, leaving messages. After a while, the old squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah. Pretty soon, people started responding. Yeah. And then the questions became, well, let's they said, we don't know. It's a good bill. It's really not. We're not paying attention to it. But let's pursue it. And that's when I started pushing. Let's get it up there, And we pushed and pushed. And it wasn't just me. And I want to make that real clear. Yeah, absolutely. Phil Palmisano, like I said, he's huge for it. Senator Tom O'Mara, he was great. Big-time advocate. Assemblymember Joe Sempolinski. Mm-hmm. And I also had a lot of help from the Democratic side, too. Absolutely. So, it was a mix, and I don't want to make this a Republican thing, and like I said, I don't want to make it a Democratic thing, because it's not. Yeah, right. I think Senator O'Mara said it best at one of the interviews that I think Lindsey Madison did a couple months ago. He just said, look, suicide's not a partisan issue. Not at all. It's a people issue. But I'm lucky to have 3 representatives in our area that truly, truly care about the well-being of us. Right. And it's not because, I'm a Democrat, they're Republican, so the party has never even...
That's never come up.
So anyways, it's just good to have people who, elected officials who truly, truly care about the constituents. Mm-hmm. So anyways, that began the quest, and in the meantime, I made so much noise, and I was going back and forth with the Office of Mental Health. Mm-hmm. They called, interviewed me once, and at the very end, they said, we'd like you to, we're putting together a task force, a governor's task force for suicide prevention. Would you mind sitting on it? I was thrilled. Of course. Absolutely. I had a lot to learn, and I did learn a lot. Mm-hmm. That whole year I sat on that task force, and I was sitting with some pretty expertise people in suicidology, and some of the best in New York State, and I learned a ton. It was a great experience for me. And then I wrote and requested to give in-person testimony. That was back in January 2025 to the joint legislature. Okay. And I got selected. That you have to apply, send in your reasoning, what are you going to talk about, and I did all that. And when I went up to Albany, Senator O'Mara met me up there, kind of took care of me, park here, we'll meet you here. And, I didn't know what I was doing. Sure. And, Assemblyman Palmisano, he was there to meet me and stuff. So they kind of got me comfortable up there, and I was able to give testimony. And I got a great response from the Assembly members and the senators that were in session. There was about 40 of them. I'd say 30 to 40 people there that I was able to give my testimony to. It was a big crowd.
Yeah.
And after I was done, they all came down. They said, we're behind you, we're supportive, blah, blah, blah. So, I felt good about it. And like I told you earlier, in 2024, we got through the legislature. It got passed in the Assembly, got passed in the Senate. I was thrilled.
Yeah, it's all
I
over
was
now,
thrilled.
right? Yeah.
The very last day of the legislature, that they were in session, like midnight.
Yeah.
I went to bed about 10 o'clock at night, and I hadn't heard anything that it had made it through the Assembly. It had already been passed in the Senate. So I thought, oh, boy, not going to make it. I wake up the next morning, and there's a text from Assemblyman Palmisano with a picture up in the screen that it passed, and it was a last-minute
That's great.
So I was thrilled.
Yeah.
But 5 months later, it got vetoed by the governor.
I don't understand that.
Well, I got a personal phone call from her office, and they just said, well, we're going to veto the bill. And of course, I'm shocked.
Yeah, right.
Why?
Yeah.
And two reasons, which I understand now. One of them, there was no budget attached to it.
Okay.
Now, putting a committee together,
not much of a
three,
budget.
4 times. What are you going to do? Buy them lunch,
right.
and you're not paying them extra.
Yeah,
right. They're doing it under their own professional part of their professional duties. So I get it. She wants bills with budgets.
Okay.
I get it. As a former principal of a school, I would want it too.
Sure.
The other reason was she likes specific departments to form their own councils, their own committees. She doesn't like to approve them herself. So they were the two reasoning. So we went back to the drawing board, tried to push. In 2025, I forgot it, a year ago, there was something missing in the bill, and I knew it wasn't going to go, so we didn't really push it.
Okay.
This year, there was a little changes to the bill, and we began the quest again. Yeah. And here we are. It passed in June.
Yeah.
We're here again. This time, I'm here to, well, you're nice enough to be able to let me talk about the bill. And I want to drum up some support here locally.
How do we help, though? I mean, how obviously we get the word out, we tell people, but like you said, our assembly members and state senators, they're all for it. So how can we really get the word going?
Glad you asked.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
There's two ways you can do it. I think we've got to let the governor know that we're in support of this bill. Let's face it. It's a political issue in Albany for some of those people. And Governor,
it's an election
she's in a re-election year. I get it.
Yeah.
So there's two things we can do. What I would recommend is make a phone call. It takes about a minute.
Yeah.
I can give you the number, 518-474-8390. You're going to get a recording.
Okay.
Press 1 if you want to leave a message regarding the bill. You press 1 and you just simply say, look it, the creation of the Rural Suicide Prevention Council is greatly needed. It's a great way we can study suicide, improve our preventive measures here in New York State. We've got some great rates here. Our rates in New York State for suicide prevention are some of the best in the country. But like Commissioner Sullivan of the Office of Mental Health always says, it's good, but we can do better. We must do better. And that's one of the best statements I think I've heard from her. We must do better. So you just simply say, Bill S 3610, A 8434, Rural Suicide Prevention Council, please sign it. Just sign it. It's needed. It's greatly needed. New York State has never investigated suicide fatalities like this. Never. They've never had a council or a committee to look at the last 5-6 months of an individual who died by suicide.
Right.
To try to get answers to the questions like, where did we fail them? Where did we miss these people?
Right.
I mean, let's face it, there are failures.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What services could we have gotten to them? Why did we miss with such good suicide preventive measures we have in New York State? How did we miss these people? What are the barriers? That's the big one.
Yeah.
I know with my boy, the last couple of years of Matt's life, he was denied a lot of the services and care.
Yeah.
And that's what I think when I first read that Maryland bill, it hit home. Matt was denied. He needed a bed. He needed inpatient care. We were told he's unqualified. And no one gave us any reasoning. And it was like, why?
Yeah.
So anyways, those are some of the things, the bill brings, and that's what we're hoping. So.
Well, and what does a Rural Suicide Prevention Council look like to you? Because as you mentioned, you have a couple meetings. It's a committee essentially. Yeah. What does that look like? What is your dream if this is passed? What does it look like?
Well, my dream would be that it'll comprise of approximately 12 to 16 members.
Okay.
Many of them appointed. I think the bill actually says the governor can appoint 4 designees. Speaker of the Assembly can appoint 2 or 3 designees. Sure. Commissioner of Agriculture, because we're dealing with rural areas.
Right, absolutely.
And farmers, suicide among farmers is quite high, higher than most people think.
Oh, sure.
So they can designate a couple designees. There is a little wiggle room, gray area for anyone else that they may think could contribute to the committee. So you're talking about 12 to 16 members of this council who are pretty much expertise in those areas.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to get people from mental health. You're going to get people from the Suicide Prevention Office.
Of course.
Those are the ones you want.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to pick, I would imagine what the council would do is going to look at maybe 3, 4 rural counties. I happen to look at rural counties from the least rural to the most rural in New York State.
Yeah.
Steuben was like 18.
Yeah.
All right, so that, not quite.
Yeah, right.
Second, the lower half.
Yeah.
But you pick 3 or 4 counties, and then you do a random selection of maybe 4 or 5 individuals from each county. I mean, obviously, you can't investigate all suicides; it would take forever. The Maryland bill, they really pinpointed the age range on some of them, and they really and with suicide, I believe one of the reports I read was suicide by gun.
Okay.
By a firearm.
Sure.
So they minimized it. They really detailed who they were going to look at, and we could do the same. And then what we want to do is you want to just gather data. For example, if we were to pick Steuben County, pick 3 or 4 suicides here in Steuben County, let's say 4 or 5, we want to get data, as much data as we can from those individuals, because there's a lot of data on it.
I'm sure.
And that'll give us an idea, did they have any services? How did they die? What was going on?
Where did we fail them, like you said earlier?
Yeah, and we've got a lot of release forms that go with the bill, obviously with HIPAA and stuff like that. We've got to, get permission to look at the data of these individuals. So it's a pretty in-depth council.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's never been done in New York State. Right. It's a great way to look at fatalities. It's a great way to improve our preventive measures. There's nothing bad about this bill.
No.
There's nothing bad at all about this bill.
That's what I don't understand. Because how rare is it to see bipartisan support for anything at all?
And do we need it, Frank?
Yeah, I know.
We all need it. I think, we're all in with this one big fight, and I think everybody's just kind of getting sick of it.
I agree. But this seems like a no-brainer. And how appropriate would it be if Governor Hochul, like you said, it is a re-election year, something she can consider, but September being National Suicide Awareness Month, what a perfect time to sign this into law.
And I just sent her a letter last week. And I said, and I've sent her a couple letters this summer, Like I said, I can be a pest. And, but, I try to keep it professional, and I try to keep it, very positive. And I just said, look, if you're going to sign this bill, sign it in September.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect way for New York State to say, hey, look it, we support, preventive measures with suicide. So, that was one of the points I put. I think I put 5 points, 5 reasons why she should sign the bill in September, and that was one of them, Suicide Awareness Month.
And the thing is, I know it gets discouraging. It's been a long fight. It's been a long journey, but you're never going to give up.
I'm not going to give up. I can't, and I'm not going to give up because I just think it's a good bill.
Yeah.
I think it's going to save lives. It not only is going to save lives of people who may be contemplating suicide, maybe open up some doors where they can get the services and care they need. But, people like me, I don't want parents to go through losing a child or a loved one or any individual to lose a loved one to suicide. It's a god-awful thing, Frank, and I think everybody knows that. But and also, I really believe that one of the things I found out in the last 5 years, a lot of people are connected to suicide.
Yeah.
Whether it's a parent, whether it's a child, whether it's a loved one, boyfriend, girlfriend, cousin.
Right.
We're connected to suicide some way.
Yeah.
We've got to find ways to bring the rates down, and this is one way to do it.
So again, contact the governor's office, 518-474-8390, and people can text in, and if they have any questions, I can get them emails, all that. You think phone call's probably the best, though, don't you?
I do. Yeah. I mean, if you want to send them, you can send a message to her, and that's www.governor.ny .gov.
Okay.
And you get, you got to fill your name in and stuff. It's you got to fill in the information. They want to know who's sending this message.
Right.
Where the phone call's a little easier, it's a little faster. So that's why I kind of, push that.
So do you think, how are you feeling right now as you go into, I mean, again, it passed, so it's just at the governor's discretion at this point.
It's at the governor's discretion. And I did meet with some people. When it first passed the legislature, I immediately sort of sent letters out. And I got an email that some people from the executive branch wanted to meet with me. And I thought, oh, all right, great.
Good.
And basically, the two people I met with just wanted to know, Joe, you're pushing the bill. She vetoed it 2 years ago. What makes you think she's going to pass it this year? And, and I knew everything I was telling them was going to go to the governor. I knew that. Of course, so, but they were very good about it. And they were very nice. But they don't give you any indication whether they're going to veto the bill or pass the bill. It was just more information about it, and they were very good about it. So, I got done with the interview and I thought, I don't know, I don't really feel one way or the other. I have to believe she'll pass it. I really do. I don't know. I mean, it's
bipartisan. We're at re-election year, which downplays it, but that is important. That's what politicians think about, right? So you have all these things coming together. It seems, I hate to keep saying it, but it seems like a no-brainer. It seems so easy.
And Frank, in this community that we live in, it's a good community. It's a great community because we got a lot of people who truly care about those who are suffering from mental health. They really do. And that's one of the reasons I came in today and asked you. Because I know I can get some support here.
Absolutely.
And I'll bring up Sheriff Allard.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you meet with him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's ever told you about the Sheriff Ron Spike Wellness Center.
Oh, isn't that great?
It's fantastic what him, and I believe it's Sheriff Figueroa from Ulster County have put together for first responders.
It's amazing.
And you think about first responders. You know what I think about? I think about those people that had to go into the classroom at Sandy Hook.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think that had an impact on their life?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It had. So what they see every day, they need the help. So we've got people like Sheriff Allard who are stepping up and doing some good things. And I just think we got a good community, and that's, I'm hoping some people can just make that phone call. It takes about a minute.
Yeah.
And help out.
Well, you'll have to keep us updated. We want to break the news when you find out.
Frank, I really, truly appreciate it.
Anytime, honestly. Anything we can do.
You got it.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.